And welcome back. Before filming of WarioWare Part 6, the final part begins, I'd thought it would be a great time to talk about Smash Bros. Yeah, even though there are a lot of characters that I would like to see in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'm not exactly looking forward to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah, I like the Nintendo 64 Super Smash Bros. Game. Well, the one that's called Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Melee on the Nintendo GameCube, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Nintendo Wii, but I've never been a big fan of the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS Smash Bros. Games. Sorry, but I just consider those two games to be the low points of the series. It's when they introduced a lot of Fire Emblem characters, and I mean way too many of them. And the infamous Patuna, but that's a topic for another day. Yeah, this list is made up of characters that I would love to see dearly in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. These are the characters that I highly requested. Well, are highly requested. Well, what I mean by that is that they are my most wanted. And they are many of my favorite characters ever. Before we start, here are some guidelines. Number 1, no Fire Emblem characters. Well, there is one exception. But ever since Super Smash Bros. Wii U and Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS came out, I've already gotten sick of how many Fire Emblem characters appeared in those games. And I was like, enough with the Fire Emblem characters. And heck, I wasn't even a big fan of Fire Emblem. Well, I do like the older generation of Fire Emblem games, but the newer generation of Fire Emblem games, not so much. Yeah, as I said before, there was way too many of them. Number 2. This is just my opinion, although you may agree with some of my choices on there. And number 3, the most important rule of them all, some of these characters on this list I don't expect to appear at all. There are going to be a few characters in this list that I don't expect to appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and the character in that franchise, well, I don't expect that series to be referenced in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at all. Have we cleared that out, guys? Let's get started. Number 10. How could we start off this list? Oh, I know. How about we put a spooky, scary skeleton in the list? Yep, the number 10 spot goes to a skeleton pirate, and his name is Spinal. Well, after all, the month of October is upon us, and it's time to get spooky. Spinal has always been one of my favorite characters in the Killer Instinct series. I just love him. Spinal has first made his appearance in Killer Instinct, an arcade game that was released in 1994, and it was advertised for coming out on the Nintendo Ultra 64, which just so happens to be the original name for the Nintendo 64. Yep, the Nintendo 64, of course, is one of my favorite consoles of all time, and one of my favorite Nintendo consoles ever. However, unlike Cruisin' USA, the only other arcade game that was released for being advertised on the Nintendo Ultra 64, Killer Instinct had to come out on the SNES. Because apparently there was a lot of demand for this game to come out on the Super Nintendo. And I don't blame them, man, because Killer Instinct is just awesome. And yes, I have a copy of Killer Instinct on the SNES. But I don't have a Killer Cuts CD. Yeah. Even though I'm not a huge fan of fighting games, I still enjoy Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, and WrestleMania. The arcade game. And let's not forget Biofreaks. Yeah, I still enjoy those fighting games. Yeah. Spinal is number 10 on the list, and here's why. Well, I don't expect him to appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The reasoning for this is, well, while Rareware themselves have released Nintendo games, games on Nintendo consoles in the past, they were bought out by Microsoft. The recent Killer Instinct game, the latest one in the series, was released on the Xbox One and PC. And of course, that means I don't expect, like, Nintendo to get the rights to put Spinal in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Although, it would be cool to see him appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Why? Because I get to play as a spooky boy! Yeah, Spinal deserves to be on this list. And if he wasn't on this list, I wouldn't have been able to thank Mr. Skeletal himself. Alright, let's move on to the next character. And of course, you're gonna be surprised of who it is. Are you ready? Alright, let's go. Number 9! Were you expecting Shantae to appear in this list? Nah. Shantae's not on this list, man. Well, to be honest, I wanted to give the Shantae games a try, but I can't though. I wanted to like this series. I really did. But the reason why I refuse to give these games a chance is because the Shantae series went too far on the fan service, in my opinion. If WayForward toned down on the fan service a bit, then I might give these games a try. Anyways, the number 9 spot goes to Gianna from the Great Gianna Sisters. Now, what is the Great Gianna Sisters, you might ask? Well, the Great Gianna Sisters was a game released in the late 80s on the Commodore 64 and Amiga. It was a great game, but it was also the subject of controversy. Now, why was it so controversial back in the day? Well, it looked so similar to Super Mario Brothers that Nintendo had to take the company that made the game, Rainbow Arts, into court. Yeah. Now that's what happens when you make similar looking games to what Nintendo has. And thus, there wouldn't be another Gianna Sisters game released until in the early 2010s when we eventually got Gianna Sisters DS. Or the late 2000s, depending on what country you live in. Yeah, I actually want to get a hold of Gianna Sisters DS, but there's one catch though. It's quite hard for me to find a copy I've been looking for that game for years and I could never find a copy of one. It's so hard to find, and it's probably incredibly rare around here. WarioWare games are also incredibly rare around here, and it takes me a while to find just one. Alright, back to Gianna's. Yeah, back to Gianna. I would love to see Gianna appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just think of her as like a female Mario. Yep. A female equivalent of Mario. And of course, just like how Mario has a brother named Luigi, Gianna also has a little sister named Maria. And they're both cute. Gianna and Maria are two of my favorite female characters of all time. Even though they're cute, she's not as cute as as the top character on this list. I'm not going to tell you who it is, because I'll just reveal it. Alright. Gianna definitely deserves to be on this list. And, of course, while I would love to see her, I don't expect Gianna's sisters or even Gianna herself to appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It would be cool, but I won't expect it to happen though. Alright, next one please. Number 8. Spot actually, of course, goes to two characters. AmiYumi and Yumi Yoshimura. Two of the most adorable cartoon girls that, of course, appeared in the Hi Hi Puffy AmiYumi show. Yeah, Ami, of course, I think is the more adorable one. You just can't hate her. She's too adorable to hate or dislike. Anyways, I actually want to see these two characters appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. After all, Hi Hi Puffy AmiYumi is one of my favorite shows on Cartoon Network, and most of the Hi Hi Puffy AmiYumi games, well, two of them by the way, were released on Nintendo consoles. AmiYumi and Yumi Yoshimura can either work as a team or as two separate characters. Yumi Yoshimura could be a echo fighter to AmiYumi. Yeah. I would definitely imagine Yumi Yoshimura as an echo fighter to AmiYumi. But instead of the drumsticks, I think, or like the cymbals, whatever kind of weapon that AmiYumi would use while she's fighting in the game, she has her guitar. AmiYumi is just one adorable girl, and she's one of my two main waifus, along with the top character on the list. And of course, Yumi Yoshimura is cute and cool. Seriously, it's like if you take a strawberry shortcake doll and combine it with Gosh, Hell Scream. That's what describing Yumi Yoshimura is like in a nutshell. Yeah, these two I just love, and they are two of my favorite characters in the show itself. Because why not? I don't expect these characters to appear at all, which is why they're very low on the list. Because, well, they're characters that have appeared in a Cartoon Network animated series. and it's very unlikely that Hi Puffy AmiYumi would be referenced at all in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But it would be cool though. Alright, next one please. Number 7. Of course goes to another pirate. But she's not a skeleton though. She's Captain Syrup. Captain Syrup is a character in Wario Land. And of course, aside from WarioWare, Wario Land is also another one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time. Yeah. Captain Syrup is the leader of a gang called the Black Sugar Gang. And of course has minions that work with her. And I think they're actually the main enemies of the game. Yeah, just like Wario himself, Captain Syrup always wants the treasure. Well, she's a pirate, that's to be expected. Yeah. As much as I love to see Captain Syrup appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I don't expect her to even appear once in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And before you guys comment, I have to clear this thing out. I have to clear this out, okay? 1. I don't expect Captain Syrup to appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Why? Well, she's a character in Wario Land, and it's highly unlikely that any Wario Land character is ever going to appear in that game, aside from Wario himself. 2. I don't expect Wario Land to be referenced in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Why? Well, WarioWare has actually become more popular than the main series Wario Land itself. And it's sort of similar to how, like, Persona became more popular than its main series, Shinsengami. And 3. I don't expect another Wario Land game to be released for 10 years. Again, WarioWare has become more popular than Wario Land. Oh, and of course, thoughts of a new Wario Land game will have to wait a while. Sorry guys, it would be cool, but I don't expect it though. I just don't expect it. Yeah. Captain Syrup is one swashbuckling girl that definitely deserves to appear on this list. Alright. On to the next characters, and it's pretty obvious of who they're gonna be. Let's go. Number 6. Number 6 goes to, yet again, 2 characters. Coach and Nick from Left 4 Dead 2. Coach and Nick are 2 of my favorite characters in the Left 4 Dead series. These 2 have great chemistry with each other. Yeah, I've seen, like, a lot of SFM videos that prove that. Especially the one, of course, where it's another version of steamed hams. Yeah. Coach and Nick, of course, could either work as a team or as 2 separate characters. Yep. Just like AmiYumi and Yumi Yoshimura, right guys? Nick, of course, would work as an Echo Fighter for Coach himself. But he would have like a different arsenal though. Yeah, Coach, of course, needs no introduction, because everybody on the planet knows who he is. And of course Nick, well, he needs no introduction either. Yeah, all I have to say is that while Coach and Nick, of course, would be cool to see in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I don't expect any Valve character to appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And I don't expect, like, Nintendo to get the rights from Valve to put these characters in the game. Alright, let's move on to the next character. Number 5. Next character on this list is the only Fire Emblem character that appears in this list. And of course, she's Sakura. As much as I hate Fire Emblem Fates, Sakura is one of the few characters that I like in this game. Yep. She's a sweet girl. She's kind, and she's a shrine warrior. And of course, she's also the only Fire Emblem character that I will actually like to see appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. After all, she's a lot better than the awful Perry, and way better than the dreadful Camilla. Ugh, I don't want to think about those two awful fan service characters. I'd rather think about Sakura. Yeah, Sakura, as I said, is a shrine warrior. Of course, I think her moveset will be comprised of her attacks in the game itself. Yeah, just imagine her wielding a bow and arrow, and of course, her kicking some butt. And of course, well, shooting Yoshis with the bow and arrow. Oh man. Yeah. Sakura, of course, is most likely to appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Because it's said that, well, a lot of Fire Emblem characters, and in fact, I've heard that every Fire Emblem character is going to appear in, like, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so she's highly likely to appear. Alright, next character. Number 4. Right, the next character on this list is going to be the first Sega character that is going to appear in this list. And he's not Shadow the Hedgehog, but he's the main hero in the Shinobi series named Joe Musashi. I mean, come on, how could you not have him appear on this list? I mean, how could I not have them on this list? He's a friggin' ninja! And ninjas are cool! Yep, even Cat and Anna are cool. Joe Musashi, as I said, is the main character that appears in the Shinobi series. He first made his debut in the first Shinobi game released on the Sega Master System. And of course, he has defeated many powerful enemies throughout the series, including Spider-Man in Shinobi 2. That oddly enough turns into Devilman, I think. Yeah. Spoiler alert, by the way. Yeah, you see, there's not much to say here, but he would be, like, a great addition to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah. And of course, Sega is not all about Sonic. Joe Musashi is actually, well, aside from Sonic the Hedgehog himself, is actually one of the coolest Sega characters ever. Well, just for the fact that he's a ninja. Yeah, you have to have no heart and soul to find ninjas cool. To not find ninjas cool. Yeah. Joe Musashi most definitely deserves to be on this list. And he would be an awesome addition to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 4. This spot goes to Bass from the Mega Man series. Yeah, you're surprised that he's not number 2 on this list. But he is pretty high up on this list. Bass first made his appearance in Mega Man 7. And of course, he is a clone of Mega Man himself. And to be honest here, I think that Bass would most definitely work best as an Echo Fighter. Because, as I said before, he's a clone of Mega Man. Except, well, his personality is the opposite of Mega Man. And of course, well, you might think, well, Bass doesn't have a robotic dog partner like Mega Man does, but guess what? He actually does. And his partner is a wolf-like creature named Treble. Yep, Bass and Treble. The two elements of sounds. Good job on naming these two characters, Capcom. You did a great job. In my opinion, Bass would be an awesome addition to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And of course, it'll be great to see him fight against Mega Man himself. Alright. We're almost to the number 1 spot. But for now, he's the number 2 character. Alright. Next character, please. Number 2. Right, the next spot goes to the main heroine in the Puyo Puyo series, Aural Nadja. Yep. Aural Nadja, of course, I think is the main heroine in the Puyo Puyo series because she's the one that appears frequently. Aural Nadja has first made her debut in Puyo Puyo. While the game itself had many console versions that were released in Japan, we would only get the arcade version us North American people would only get the arcade version when it was first around. Yeah. Us Western people that played on their consoles would not get a taste of the Puyo Puyo action until Puyo Puyo 2 came out on the Neo Geo Pocket. And yes, I am looking for one. I would love to have a Neo Geo Pocket. Because of that one game. Yeah, Aural Nadja, of course, is one of my favorite female characters in video games, and she's so adorable. Yep. And I think that she's well worthy of appearing in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I just don't know what her moveset would be. I suppose she can use the Poyos as one of her main attacks, but I think that she has like magical based attacks. And I can definitely use her as my main method of pummeling Lucina to the ground. Yeah. So yeah, before we come to the number one spot, here are a few honorable mentions. Honorable mention number one. Honorable mention, of course, goes to good old Simon Belmont himself. I've always wanted to see Simon Belmont appear in Super Smash Bros. Well, not just Ultimate, but the entire series in itself. He is a cool character. And I love the Castlevania series. But the reason why he's not on this list is because he actually appeared in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He was shown in one of the Nintendo Directs. And to be fair, it was cool to see him appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate once and for all. But the thing that I wasn't expecting to see in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was Richter Belmont. Yep, Simon Belmont gets a thumbs up. Well, not because he appeared in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's because the Belmonts were always cool. Honorable mention number two. Honorable mention goes to the big bad alligator, or is it the crocodile, himself, King K Rool. I've always wanted to see King K Rool appear in Smash. I've been waiting a long time to see King K Rool appear in Smash. In fact, I've always wanted to see a Donkey Kong character appear in Smash besides Donkey Kong himself. Heck, we don't even get an assist trophy for the Donkey Kong characters. Yet, Fire Emblem gets like 6 or 7 characters in Smash despite being a pretty niche series. Yeah. I've always felt that Donkey Kong characters deserve more attention in the Smash Bros. Series than the Fire Emblem characters, because Donkey Kong was one of the characters that helped build Nintendo's success. He was a character that first appeared in Donkey Kong in the arcades in the early 80s. And the Donkey Kong series itself is one of Nintendo's most famous and iconic franchises. Donkey Kong Country, of course, I think helped popularize Donkey Kong. And it's the first time you saw him as the hero instead of the villain, sort of how Wario was first introduced as a villain and then he appeared as a hero in Wario Land. The reason why King K Rool is not on this list is, well, like Simon Belmont, he actually appears in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah! It's about time a Donkey Kong character, besides Donkey Kong himself, appeared in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In fact, it was a big surprise to me. I was never expecting him to appear in that game. But, thumbs up. Because King K Rool deserves to be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Alright. Here's the next honorable mention. Honorable mention number 3. Final honorable mention goes to the bitter witch herself, Ashley. Well, if I hadn't mentioned her at all, I would get a lot of flack from Ashley fans. Yeah, I just hate the Ashley fandom. Her fandom's just no. Stay away. Yeah. The reason why Ashley's not on this list is because, well, I don't want to see her as a playable character. even though I hate to say it, but she definitely has a high chance of being a playable character. I don't want to see Ashley as a playable character. I don't even want to see her hogging all the attention of all the WarioWare characters. Instead, I want to see like the top character on this list appear as a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And we're gonna get to her right away. Yeah. Having her as an assist trophy is fine to me, because, let's face it, I don't want to even imagine an Ashley fan, of course, trying to dominate the battlefield with this rude witch. Well, it's just that I don't hate her. It's just that her fan base maybe stopped liking her. Yeah, I used to like Ashley, but her awful, awful fan base made me stop liking her, though. Alright. We've touched upon the honorable mentions. Now, it's time for the top character herself. The number one spot goes to Mona! Yeah, who else was it gonna be? It certainly wasn't gonna be Shantae. It was gonna be Mona. Yeah. Mona, well, as you already knew, is a character that I've always wanted to see appear in the Smash Bros. Series. Mona, of course, is, well, she's my main waifu, and she has first made her debut in WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. Yeah. And she got a fantastic looking design in WarioWare Gold. Yeah. I was getting worried that she was never going to appear in WarioWare Gold, but she has, and she looks gorgeous. Yeah, so if Mona appears in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, then they'll probably most likely use her latest appearance for WarioWare Gold. Rocking that red dress and that coat. And definitely running over awful fan service characters by spamming the scooter. Yeah, I think that Mona would most definitely work as an Echo Fighter for Wario. Just imagine her as like another version, as like an Echo Fighter of Wario, except, like, well, similar to Wario, except, well, she has the scooter instead of the bike, and her final smash will be slightly different. You already knew that the number one spot was going to be given to this hot girl. You already knew it was going to be obvious, but I had to mention her anyways. And, well, I think that I would most definitely see her as a playable character rather than an assist trophy. I just think that Mona is too good to be an assist trophy. Well, unlike Kat, Nana, and Ashley, Mona is the main heroine of the series. And I do mean it. She has appeared in the series ever since the WarioWare series came out. And the WarioWare games are a lot of fun, man. Yeah. Yeah, Mona takes the number one spot, and she is the character that I would love to see the most in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. She is one cool girl, and she will always be my waifu forever or five ever. So, that's that's my list of the most wanted characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. These are characters that I would love to see the most in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Do you have any characters that you would love to see the most in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? If you do, please let me know in the comments. See you later, alligator.